Hello students, welcome to my class. So previously we were studying about retrosynthesis of different molecules. So this is a part 2 video of the previous video wherein we will be discussing some other important retrosynthesis of other different molecules. Okay. So the first molecule in this video will be acetone cyanohydrine. So this is structure of acetone cyanohydrine. So the question will be like write the synthesis of acetone cyanohydrin. So how will you start, students? First, what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to disconnect the molecule and write its retrosynthesis, and later on you're supposed to write the synthesis of the molecule. Correct. So this is acetone cyanohydrine. Where do you disconnect it, students? See, disconnect in such a way that when you're coming back, the path should be feasible and workable. Okay. So where will you disconnect this molecule? If you disconnect the CN part from here, it is easy to add cyanide to this particular ketone molecule, correct? So what you'll do, you will disconnect over here. So you get CH3OH, CH3, CH3, correct? And this will have a plus charge because cyanide usually goes out as Cn minus. Okay, so this will have a plus charge and you will get Cn minus. So what are these two called as? They're called as syntones. Now what you have to write? You have to write it synthetic equivalent. So what do you get? CH3 C double bond OH, because here carbon should have maximum valency of 4 and here carbon has only 3 valency. So you can shift this bond between OH between the carbon and oxygen. So ketone is its synthetic equivalent, and for to get Cn minus you can have synthetic equivalents like HCN or KCN. Next, what you'll write? You will write the reverse of this, that is, you will write the synthesis of acetone cyanohydrine. How is the synthesis of this molecule done, students? What you will take first, you will take the ketonic compound because previously you got the synthetic equivalent, correct? So you will take this ketonic compound and you will take HCN. So what happens, how this double bond is there, pi bond will shift on to oxygen as minus sign and carbon will get a plus sign. Here HCN will dissociate to give H plus and Cn minus. The H plus part will come and attach to oxygen because it has a minus charge, and here the carbon, because it has a plus charge, the Cn minus part will come and attach to the carbon. So finally you will get the acetocyanohydrin. So this is the simplest molecule to show disconnection as well as synthesize. Next is benzidrone molecule. This is also one important molecule, that is write the synthesis of benzioderone molecule. Okay, so this is a structure of benzioderone molecule. Now when you see the structure, what you're supposed to do first, you're supposed to disconnect and write its retrosynthesis, correct? So these are the two iodine groups that are present on either sides of the benzioderone molecule, because this molecule has two iodine in it. Okay, so the easiest thing that you can see first that you can disconnect is these two iodine molecule, because for any organic molecule it is easy to do halogenation, add any type of halogen. So first what you'll do, you'll disconnect these two halogen groups, that is these two iodine. So disconnection, we have removed those two iodine. So you can write carbon iodine bond disconnection or just disconnection. Okay, so what you'll do in the next step, students, see here. Now you, after disconnecting the two iodine from either side, you have this molecule and there is a benzene ring on the top. There's a benzene ring attached to ring containing oxygen in the bottom. So you can disconnect this complex molecule into two parts, because this group you can add it later as benzoic acid. Okay, because you have a C double bond over here, so you can add it as a benzoic acid later on. So disconnect this whole part. So you will get what? Two parts. This part A and part B. So part A is written over here, and since you're disconnecting this carbon-carbon bond, this carbon here will get the negative charge and this carbon here will get the positive charge. So what are these two called as? These two are called as synthons. I have referred synthons as Sn and synthetic equivalents as Se. Okay, so you get two synthons here, synthon number 1, synthon number 2. Can you write a synthetic equivalent for this particular synthon here? What you have to do for writing a synthetic equivalent? This charge has to go, that's all. So what you will do in order to remove this minus charge, can you add one hydrogen here? That time that minus will go. So adding one H plus here, that minus charge is now gone. So this is a synthetic equivalent. This part only, this is the bottom one. Don't see this. This is the second step. So only this part is the synthetic equivalent of this synthon. Okay. What about this particular synthon? What can we add here? It has a plus charge. So you have to add a highly electronegative atom. Okay. So you know that highly electronegative atom means first thing that comes into our head is halogen. So what we have added for this particular synthon to make it a synthetic equivalent, it's shown over here. We have added a halogen like chlorine here. Okay. But to have this particular molecule in, because you have to see that when you're going back this reaction should be possible, that is for this particular synthetic equivalent you should be able to add this and get this particular molecule. Okay. But availability of this molecule is very less. But you know that if you make a slight alteration over here, in place of chlorine if you add OH, if you had OH, then what would that be? That would be benzoic acid, benzene ring and C double bond OH. Okay. And there is one hydroxyl group on the para position. So it will be a para hydroxy benzoic acid. That is very much available in your laboratory and it is easy. You know, lot of reactions involve para hydroxy benzoic acid and you can easily add that compound into your another part, that is this synthetic equivalent. So what you will do, instead of the Cl you will change it, that is functional group interconversion will be done and this Cl part will be replaced by OH. Why are you doing this, students? Why are you not keeping it at this? Because you want to make this reaction when you're going in the backward direction, it should be feasible and workable. For that you will go to as much as possible most simplest reagent that is available in labs, that we know, that we usually use in organic reactions. Such reagents only you prefer, not something that is a little rare. So this chlorobenzoic acid is not very common, but parahydroxy benzoic acid is very commonly available, correct, in different reactions. So what we are converting this Cl group into OH, that's why we are writing FJ. Now, do we need to disconnect this molecule further? No need. So we have got two synthetic equivalent. This is one part and this is one more part. These are the two synthetic equivalent. Next, what we are writing? We are writing the synthesis of that particular molecule, that is benzoyodrone. How to do the synthesis of this particular molecule, that is benzoyodrone? What will you take first? What you took here in the last will be the reagent that you take, will be the reactant, that will be the first reactant that you're taking here in the synthesis part. Okay, so what did you get actually? You had got para hydroxybenzoic acid, correct? No, that was the last step wherein you ended up with para hydroxybenzoic acid. So here in the synthesis also, what you will take, students? You will take para hydroxybenzoic acid. What was the last but one step that we did there? That is, we chain this OH group into we chain the Cl group there into OH, correct? Now what you have to do, you're doing exactly the reverse of retrosynthesis in synthesis, correct? So what you have to do, you have to chain this OH group into Cl group now. But one thing you have to see, students, now here this you are trying to change this OH group into Cl group, but you can see that here in this position, in another para position also, there is one more OH group. So if what to do for changing it to Cl, you can use some chlorinating agent like SOCl2. But in case you do this, there is a possibility that here also chlorine might get added and this OH also might be replaced and chlorine might get added. Okay. For that, what will you do to prevent one group from getting chlorinated? You want only this functional group to get chlorinated. Now think, you have already studied this. I hope you know what we have to do now. Now we are using, now comes into picture something called as a protecting group, which you already studied. So what is the work of the protecting group? When there are two functional group in a molecule, and if you are wishing to make changes in that particular molecule, an alteration or a reaction to only one functional group, and you want to prevent the other functional group from undergoing that change, what you'll do, you will protect the other functional group by using a protecting group. Now you can use any kind of protecting group that is used to protect hydroxyl groups or protection of OH group. We studied one list of protecting groups, correct? So we are using tosyl chloride TSCl. So this group is now protected. So there is one additional step here that is not shown in retrosynthesis, because when we are coming back we needn't do that. But when you're moving forward, it is very important that you protect this group first. So we are protecting it with tosyl chloride. So this part of it is protected. Now you want to do chlorination, you have to substitute this OH with chlorine. So you will do chlorination with SOCl2. So what do you get? This part OH gets replaced by Cl. Correct? No? What is the next step, students? What do you have to do? Next step, you have to add the other part of the benzoyodron, which you had separated as synthetic equivalent in this step. Do you see this? One benzene ring and a ring containing oxygen attached together. So this part is supposed to be attached to this synthetic equivalent here in this step. So we are adding that part directly. So where does that part get attached, students? This part, the C double bond O will get attached, and one hydrogen from this part will go, and one chlorine from here will go out as HCl. So there is elimination of HCl, and this entire part will go and get attached over here to the top portion. uh, so this part here, the whole part here goes and gets attached onto the other part of the benzoyodron. Okay, so can you connect it and write? One more thing is that you might think that there is a possibility that this ring can also get attached to this benzene part. Why only it should get attached to this oxygen containing ring here? That is because this position is more electron rich than the benzene here. Okay, that is the reason the C double bond O part will come and attach only to this part here, because C double bond O part here will be electron deficient. Since Cl has gone out as Cl minus, this carbon will have a plus charge, because it will have one, two, three, only three bonds, but it needs four, right? Its valency is four. So since this part is highly electron rich, so the C double bond O part will come and attach here rather than getting attached anywhere around this benzene ring. That is the reason. So here we are using AlCl3 here just as a catalyst. This part comes and gets attached over here. What is your next work now, students? What is your next work? Now you are supposed to convert this OTS part. Okay, now already this part has got attached over here and to the top, and you have got C double bond O. Now what is your work, next work? You're supposed to convert that OTS group is there, no, into OH, because that is how you want it. That is how benzoyodron top benzene ring has an OH group. So what you will do, you can use H3O plus for that. That time when you're making it react with H3O plus, this OTS group is replaced by OH group. What is the last step, students? You need two I here, two iodines attached over here, iodide ions to be specific. Two iodide ions are supposed to be attached over here. So you will do halogenation, that is you will add two iodine I2. So this is a very simple step. You will add I2 and you will get two iodines attached. So finally you have synthesized your benzoyodron molecule. So this is a another synthesis of benzoyodron. Next is we are synthesizing another important molecule, that is synthesis of nitrofurazone. Okay, so this is the structure of nitro and there is a furan ring containing oxygen. This is nitrofurazone, and this part of nitrofurazone is called as semicarbazide. You can see here this part, this entire part is called as the semicarbazide. So before synthesis, what you're doing? You're doing retrosynthesis. For that, you have to disconnect and write. So we are disconnecting exactly at this part so that we can separate the semicarbazide, because semicarbazide, that is NH2, NHC double bond of NH2 is readily available. So you can directly add it in the last step of the reaction. So semicarbazide is separated and we get the other part that is called as a nitrofurfuralate. Okay, it is called as a nitrofurfuralate. So this is a nitrofurfuralate, and whenever there is a nitro group, students, you know that where will you disconnect further? The disconnection is not over yet. This molecule is enough. There's no more disconnection required because semicarbazide is readily available. So the reverse reaction is feasible and workable. But this part is still in a complex form, so you can disconnect the nitro group here because you know that nitration can be done and you can add this, re-add this. So where will you disconnect? You will disconnect here in the carbon nitrogen bond. You will disconnect the nitrofurfuralate. So what do you get, students? What is this? This is called as a furfural. Okay. This is actually called as a furfural because this is nothing but the synton, correct? And there is a minus charge here in the carbon because nitrogen goes out as plus and this carbon gets a minus charge here. In order to remove that minus charge, what you'll do now, this is a synton, this is also a synton. What are the synthetic equivalent for these two? For this, you can add one hydrogen here. So this is called as a furfural, not this. This is a synton. This molecule where there is no charge, minus or plus. And in order to remove this minus charge here, what you're doing, in order to convert it into a synthetic equivalent, you're adding one hydrogen there. So this is called as a furfural. And for NO plus, what is the synthetic equivalent? From where can you get NO plus, students? You can get it from HNO3 and H2SO4. So synthetic equivalent for NO plus is HNO3 and H2SO4. Next, let us understand the synthesis of nitrofurazone. So this much is the retrosynthesis. For synthesis, what you will do, you will go in the reverse direction. Okay. So synthesis of nitrofurazone, what will you do first, students? What you will take? Synthesis, how you'll write synthesis is nothing but the reverse of this retrosynthesis. So first what you have to take, what reactant are you taking? The furfural you are taking, and first step is to do nitration. So as you have come down like that only you will climb up the ladder through the same steps. Okay. So what you're doing, you're taking the furfural and you're doing nitration of the molecule. For nitration what you're using, you want NO plus, correct, NO2 plus, sorry. Sorry, yeah, you want NO plus. So in order to carry out the nitration, what are you using, students? So see here, you will make one small changes here. That is, it was not NO plus, it is actually NO2 plus, and that synton is derived from HNO3 and H2SO4. So now, in order to, because you want nitration, correct? So it is NO2 plus. Next, can you write the synthesis of nitrofurazone? What you will take from here, you will refer and go on writing. So first step is, for furfural you have to do nitration. Okay, so you are taking the furfural molecule and nitrating mixture. In order to do nitration, what you do, you will take nitrating mixture, that is HNO3 and H2SO4. So you have done nitration. So what you get, nitro group is attached here. Next, what you will add, students, once nitration is done, what you have to do next? You have to add the semicarbazide part, correct? No? For this, you have to add the nitrating part. After the nitration is done, you have to add the semicarbazide part, that is NH2, NHC double bond O, NH2. That we have done. We have added the semicarbazide part. Now look here, there is a carbonyl group here. So this arrow will migrate, the pi electrons will migrate onto oxygen to give minus, and carbon will become electron deficient. Carbon will get a plus charge, and nitrogen, you know, that has lone pair of electrons, so that is donated to the carbon. So there is a bond formation between this carbon and this carbon and this nitrogen. So you can see bond NHH, write the whole thing. Next after that, that is NHH, C double bond O, NH2. Okay, after that what happens next? So what you will get after that, you can see here, because this nitrogen has given its lone pair of electrons, so that particular nitrogen will get a plus charge on itself. Rest everything, this NHC double bond O, NH2, you will write it as such. I have written here NHC double bond O, NH2, written as such. Now what will happen here is that, since nitrogen has a plus charge, what will it do? It will take up these electrons from this NH bond as NO here on the top. it has a bond with hydrogen, so it will take up both the electrons of that bond in order to remove this plus charge on itself. That time H goes out as H plus. That H plus is taken up by this oxygen because it has a minus charge. So there is a formation of OH here. Okay, there is a formation of OH here, and this H goes out as H plus Y because nitrogen here, because it has a plus charge, it takes up the electrons from this bond. Rest everything that is NHC double bond or NH2 remain as such, so you will write it as such. Okay. Now here we have COH. Next step is what? Removal of water, because what do you want? You want a nitrofuran molecule, correct? You want this molecule to happen. So what you want? One double bond over here. So next is the removal of water, elimination of water. OH goes out from here. So carbon gets a plus charge here. H goes out as H plus, so nitrogen gets a minus charge. Since nitrogen has minus charge on itself, it will form a new bond between this carbon and nitrogen as CH double bond NH. Okay, so you have CH double bond. There is no NH, sorry, there is only N because H has gone out as H plus. So it's CH double bond N, NH, C double bond O, N, NH2. Okay, so we have got our nitro, so we've got a nitrofuran molecule. This is a synthesis. Now see, in retrosynthesis, we are not writing. This is written one step itself, but actually the synthesis goes about 2 to 3 steps. That is elimination of water, and we're showing the electron shift and everything. So that is required. In synthesis, you have to write it in little detailed manner. Okay. Next, in exam, you are also expected to give a little explanation about what exactly about that particular molecule. Like here, in case of nitrofuran, it is made up of aldehyde and semicarbazide, and it has a nitro group in second position. So what becomes easy? The CN disconnection can become very easy, and you will get an aldehyde and what other nitro group you are supposed to add. So little bit about nitrofuran. What is it? It is an odorless. It is like pale yellow needle or yellow color powder. If you've seen in lab, it is like a yellow color powder. So little bit about the molecule. If you write it is enough, then you can show the retrosynthesis as well as synthesis. So we'll move on to the next molecule, that is, so warfarin molecule, we are studying about warfarin next. This is the structure of warfarin molecule. How to synthesize warfarin? Let us start by disconnecting the molecule. So here to disconnect, this is a proper position. We can disconnect over here. So we see that this carbon here gets a minus charge and the carbon here will get a plus charge on itself. In order to get the synthetic equivalent for these two synthons here, what you have to do, we just added one hydrogen because there is minus charge here. You can add one H plus. So this is a synthetic equivalent for this one. What about this here? Because there's a plus charge here, there can be a double bond formation between this carbon and this carbon. So this is a synthetic equivalent for this synthon. So this cannot be further simplified, but if you see this product as this synthetic equivalent can further be disconnected and brought to a more simpler structure. So you are taking this further and doing one is what you are doing, functional group interconversion. How do you you're converting this group, that is OH group, the alcohol group, into a keto group. How do you do that functional group interconversion, students? There's a shifting of bond, simple shifting of bond. There's double bond formation. This bond is inside, that is going to shift here outside between carbon and oxygen, and this H plus is lost and that H plus is taken by this carbon. So the by shifting of that bond, you don't really have to show it, but you can just write FGI. So you're converting this OH group into C double bond O, that is a ketonic group. Once you have done that, now see here, once again you can disconnect this molecule. We are disconnecting it at this position, so you will get C double bond O, CH2, C double bond O, OH, and one H gets added over here. That is, you are adding water. So one OH gets added to this carbon and the H part of the water, the H plus gets added to this oxygen. Okay, because while disconnecting here, this oxygen will get negative charge and carbon will get a plus charge. So water's OH part will add to this carbon and H part will add to this oxygen. Next, what you will do, next further, again you can disconnect it at this particular position. Okay, you can disconnect it here. So you will get C double bond O minus and CH2 C double bond O OH plus For that you will, sorry, this part will get the minus charge and this part will get the plus charge. So this part you will add one hydrogen to get the you can write the syntons if you want. Here I have directly written the synthetic equivalent. If you are writing the syntons, what you will write? CH2 C double bond OH minus. This carbon will have a minus charge. This carbon you will write with a plus charge. What are the synthetic equivalents for that? For this part, since it has a minus charge, does just add one hydrogen. So you'll get CH3 C double bond OH, and this part you can write OET. Okay. Next is the synthesis of this molecule. How to synthesize this particular molecule? So synthesis will be the reverse of the retrosynthesis. First write the last molecule that you've got here, that is this particular molecule is written, and we are taking two molecules of CH3 C double bond O, C double bond O, CH3. Okay. So what happens here is that the lone pair of electrons, because this is a carbonyl group and oxygen pulls the electron, carbon will get a partial positive charge. So the lone pair of electrons will attack onto the carbon, and there will be a bond formation, that is this part will get attached here in the bottom, and this H will be lost as H plus. This will go and attach to the other part. Okay, it will go and attach to the OH part. So just add this part to the oxygen and write OC double bond O CH3. Next what? Next you are using a base. Why is the base used, students, in the reaction? Because base abstracts a proton. So it will abstract a proton from the CH3, making this carbon have a negative charge on itself, because one H is lost as H plus, that is taken up by the base. Now this carbon has a negative charge on itself, and you know that here there is a carbonyl group, and the oxygen of the carbonyl group will pull the electrons, so oxygen will get minus charge and carbon will get a plus charge. Since this carbon has a negative charge and this carbon has a plus charge, there will be a bond formation between this carbon. Okay, and this entire part, that is OET, is lost, it is going out. So here there is a bond formation. What else is left? Can you you have to, there is a cyclic ring formation, that is O C double bond O, that is nothing but O, this C double bond O, CH one CH, and one more bond is over here. Okay, and one hydrogen is there which we are not showing, CH2, no, one H and one more hydrogen is over there here, and it forms one bond with this carbon, that is C double bond O. What is the next step? Next, here you can see that one hydrogen is already there here. It is in CH form. We are not showing it. One more hydrogen we showed because it is CH2, correct. So this hydrogen goes out as H plus. What happens to this bond, carbon hydrogen bond? It shifts here as a double bond between this carbon and this carbon. And this hydrogen which is going out is taken up by the oxygen because it is electron rich to become OH. Next, what happens? You're taking this molecule. Which molecule? One more part, one more synthetic equivalent, because you want to make the warfarin ring, correct? So you're taking this particular molecule, and here also there's a shift giving it a minus and a plus charge. And here also the positively charged carbon is attacked by the electron rich carbon from here. So finally you will get the warfarin molecule as shown here. Okay, so this is a synthesis of warfarin. Next, we are discussing the last molecule. Explanation about the warfarin is given for you to write. It's the same thing that we have done, is given it in the form of words. Next, we are doing synthesis of limonene. This is the limonene molecule that is supposed to be synthesized. Limonene synthesis is also very simple. You're taking this particular molecule limonene. First of all, you're doing disconnection. For disconnection, what you'll do, disconnecting this particular group is very difficult. So what we'll do functional group interconversion and convert this double bond CH2 into double bond O. Okay. And then we are doing RDA, which is retro-Diels-Alder reaction. So by disconnecting this, we get the two synthetic equivalent. When you come back in the backward direction, it is Diels-Alder reaction. This, if you see, it is retro, that is this bond shifts here and it attacks over here. You know this. This is retro-Diels-Alder reaction. How is the synthesis is done? First step of synthesis is the reverse of this step. So if this is retro-Diels-Alder reaction, this step is Diels-Alder reaction. Then you are doing Wittig reaction, wherein you are adding the CH2 and PPH3 group that forms a cyclic intermediate, finally giving you Which molecule? The limonene molecule. So these are some of the other syntheses that we discussed in this video, and some more are left which will be discussed in next video. So I'll be ending this video here. Take care and bye.